Welcome to another episode of the Soothing Semantics podcast. I'm your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, leave your comments, and make sure to follow myself at Rafi the Realtor on Instagram to check out everything real estate related in South Florida. My weekly newsletter can be found in the link in bio. You can sign up. You can reach out to me directly, DM me, call, text, and say, "Hey, I want to be signed up. I want to be signed up for your email. So when I'm ready, we can do some real estate." Make sure to follow Mr. Yoni Kletzel
What
at
up?
Yoni de Pretzel. So let me just
Yo,
make sure that's going to be at Yoni instead of Yoni. That's Yoneeda Pretzel. Has amassed quite a nice following of 25,500 followers. He's a fellow Hebe. He's
Heap.
got he's a Hebe. He's got some nice curly hair. He's mid Jufro. Uh, and I want to give a shout out to Jason Levy for connecting us. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, dude.
Thank you.
And without further ado, well, just to give you a quick introduction, Yoni has been—he's a comedian, so I think you're very funny. I hope other people agree. I
I
happen to think
try,
you're funny too.
I try to
Uh,
be.
you're pretty good. You're pretty funny in my opinion. So
Thanks.
you've been. I noticed you. I came across your stuff because you've been doing some hilarious content at these pro-Palestinian rallies, and you have a way of asking questions I think are very logical, normal questions that stump most of these people because they don't know anything about the conflict, and they just wave the flags and they support the underdog, but don't actually have any responses to like any of your questions really. So you do it in a very comedic way, but you also get the point across beautifully. And so I appreciate you doing this for all of the Jewish people. And in the process, we get some laughs out of it. So it's really, really awesome. So, guys, make sure to check out his Instagram. And without further ado, here we go. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining.
Yo, first of all, thank you so much. That was a great introduction. Uh, I feel like I'm gonna record that like before I go on stage, just like to have to walk up to that. But yeah, I like doing those videos a lot too. I like to expose the pro-Palestinian side. And also I feel like there's so much comedic opportunity being pro-Israel right now because comedy is always funny when like you're saying the truth. The truth is always really funny. Like some of the funniest bits is like a comedian goes on stage and he says something like so true that every guy thinks about his girlfriend, and we're all like, oh shit, I could never say that out loud.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so the truth is hilarious in my opinion, and when there's so much like propaganda and lies going around, there's so much comedic opportunity.
Well, yeah, dude, it's also I think as a comedian, you have the ability to get the truth across with humor, which goes a lot farther than just saying it in a serious manner. You say it in a serious manner, people automatically get defensive, and instead they don't. It doesn't often process. It doesn't take. They don't allow it to process because they put up a wall immediately. But when you can deliver it with comedy, I think it breaks through those barriers, and because it's delivered in a more gentle way, in a more comforting way. So then the person sits down and they're like, "Oh,
Ah.
wait a minute, that's actually true. Oh, I thought it was funny, but it's also true." And then they're like, "Oh shit, I'm wrong. Fuck."
Yeah, exactly.
So it's so good, man. So
Yeah.
so give us a bit of a backstory, dude. Like, I mean, you can tell me about your pet dog, your pet hamster, your parents, all that fun stuff. But
Actually, I have a pet
uh,
dog. I have a pet dog right here.
you seem like
Say
you seem like
hi.
a dog. I had a feeling you were a dog owner.
Oh yeah?
There we
Why?
go. There we go. I don't know. You just
I'm
seem
just
like
a natural leader, huh?
that's the stuff. You seem like a pet lover, dude. You seem like an animal lover.
Yeah, I like him. He's a
What
good
breed is it?
guy. He's a golden doodle.
Right. He looks like a
He's
golden
a
doodle.
horny fuck though. Like he fucks pillows, blankets, all day. I mean,
Who takes after his dad?
yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
he
man.
surpasses his dad. I don't. I'm only really into humans,
I
like
hear you.
the female version. But yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. So how'd you get into comedy, and give us a scoop on how you got into the content, how you just started, because this seems like a recent thing, right? You kind of blew up during the war, right?
Yeah, I had a few videos go viral before the war. I had
Hmm.
a video I used to before the war I was asking like conservative people, like really conservative people what their pronouns were. Like I would ask
Hmm.
like Hasidim or Jamaican Christians or
I saw that.
Muslims.
I think I saw that woman. I think I saw that. Okay.
And it was one of the videos got picked up by Charlie Kirk where
Hey, Kurt. I saw that.
where I asked the Jamaican woman if I was a pretty girl. Um, but and then what happened was I was in Israel during October. I grew up in Israel. And I had a friend that I knew from high school that died at the Nova Music Festival. And just then like watching the news from Israel, like I lived in New York, but I was in Israel at the time, and just watching the news from New York and seeing like fucking people protesting against Israel, like Palestine protesters on October 8th. You know what I mean? On October 8th, they're fucking protesting in Times Square. And I was like, what the fuck? And like, I was hurt. I was like it was a very like traumatic thing to go through October 7th, and you see people yelling death to Israel and like cheering, and before Israel even dropped one bomb on fucking Gaza Strip. And then I started seeing some people doing street interviews. um I saw one guy, I think is Zach Sage, maybe he did a street interview where he was dressed as a Palestinian,
Mhm.
okay, and he was just trying to expose the Palestinians, saying crazy shit, but like
Wait, is that the one that starts off serious and then he'll ask like a weird sexual question?
no, 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 no,
You know who
no.
I'm
That's
talking
someone
about? You know
else.
who I'm talking about? He's been doing a ton of those. Do you know who I mean?
Yeah, where he's like,
Like he'll be like he'll be like, wow, something about the cause, blah blah blah, and then he'll say, does size matter? And the woman looking at him, being interviewed is like, wait, what? And they'll
yeah,
either
peg
answer
for
it.
peace,
Yeah, that's the dude.
peg for peace.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really funny too. But there's someone else who was doing it. Like I'm talking like October 8th,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, but like I go there and I always like I don't pretend to be Palestinian. Like I expose myself always, and yeah, it just I don't know.
That's
And
funny
then
shit.
started working, but I'm like pretty passionate about it. Like I love it's not just about like I feel like I'm barely even a comedian anymore because
Okay.
I don't really get booked as much at like New York City comedy clubs as I used to because I'm like
Okay.
controversial and shit.
Oh, you think that's why?
I don't know. I don't think people want to fuck with me as much for that reason. I do get to do like
It's
idea
comedy.
fundraiser
Yeah, but
shows.
it's not. I'm surprised because I don't know. I feel like doesn't anything go in the comedy space?
It does, but I sort of like so I don't know. I think people don't want, let's say, the audience because if I say something that's completely controversial and I don't win the audience over, I think the people in the club could like, it's not a vibe for them as much.
I guess. And people say such bro. Comedians say crazy shit. Crazy shit. I don't know. You take what's his name? Big J Okerson. There's a lot. I mean, there's anyone. Mark Norman. I know you're a big Mark Norman fan. I saw that. Mark Norman says some crazy shit. Big J Okerson says some crazy shit. Louis C.K. They say some shit that I was like, how the hell did they get away with that?
I know.
So,
But
and I always
Mark
say this.
Norman, the difference between of what I've become and like them is like they're like comedians and they're there for like pure comedy.
Mhm.
I'm like someone who I do comedy now, but I sort of like have a voice too.
Right, right,
I have opinions, I have a point of view. I'm not just making jokes on whichever way it lands, you know what I mean?
right. You actually, yeah, it's pretty clear on where you stand politically, or at least in terms of Israel. Yeah, even though you're
Exactly.
doing it right. Okay, I see what you're saying. And it's also at the end of the day, it's about Israel, which is the most controversial topic right now. So,
Exactly.
right.
Like even like I wouldn't even say like I'm a full comedian anymore. Like I'm sort of just someone who has a voice and does comedy at this point. Even though I started doing stand up before I became a whole, I decided I wanted to dive in to become some sort of like Zionist voice or whatever.
It's so good, man. There's also this Fogelman guy. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about? Super. Here he is. Mendel Fogelman. I'm sure you've seen him. If you go to It's rap name Fogey. That's his what's his name? That's his username or whatever. His handle. Have you
Yeah.
seen this dude? One second. Wait.
Who is that?
That,
Looks
you never
familiar.
seen this guy?
I
Does it look
think
familiar at
so.
all? Yeah.
He does
So
look familiar.
he doesn't really talk about Israel at all. He's clearly a Jewish guy, Jewish as shit. Mendel
Okay.
Fogelman.
Mendel, of
Uh,
course he's Jewish. Hi,
yeah,
Chabad.
yeah. He's definitely Chabad. Yeah. Like a non-religious Chabad dude, but his he's got this, bro. His sarcasm is so dry, bro. It's so dry, and I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. I think it's funny as shit. Some of his stuff is a little. Some of his stuff, I'm just like, you're reaching too hard. Like some entrepreneur will say something, and I resonate with it, and he'll just kind of make fun of the entrepreneur, which is funny. But most of the time, he just says he does commentary on stupid takes. You'll have some YouTuber talk. You gotta wake up at 1:28, and then you gotta make your bed, and you gotta rub oil on your knees. And if you don't do that, and he'll pop in and he'll make fun of it. It's very funny stuff. He would do great with the Israel stuff. If he was doing any of the Israel stuff, it'd be really funny. I
Do
don't
you
think
know
he
who
does any.
has to get into it? I don't know what's going on, but someone's gonna get Sasha Baron Cohen to fucking do some pro-Israel stuff at rallies.
Ah, dude, I don't. I wish he would. Fuck, I
Sasha
wish
Baron fucking Cohen, bro.
he would break the internet if he went to these rallies. He'd break the internet, but I don't
Low
think he's
key,
gonna do it.
I think maybe he's getting divorced because he's so pro-Israel. I don't know.
Why do you say that?
You know he's getting divorced now.
Oh yeah, is he pro-Israel? I haven't even seen his page. I'm saying I know he's
Bro,
obviously.
bro, Sasha Baron Cohen is a fucking Zionist OG. You realize that like he uses Hebrew in all his movies.
Yeah, no, I know all of that, but I didn't know he was necessarily. I don't know. Like, does he show? Wait,
Look at his profile right now.
stop hate for profit. I'm in his profile right now. I'm looking to see if he's mentioning Israel. On strike. Let's see. Okay, so far I don't notice anything particularly pro. Let me see. Okay, where's the pro-Israel stuff? I'm on his Instagram.
That's it. He's had a few.
Mm, um, okay. One, he's saying the two little girls, Raz and Aviv. That was literally on October 7th. Since then, I don't see anything.
Really?
Not real. What else is there? There's a picture of
Maybe
a
he's
woman.
deleted.
There's a picture of a woman that was kidnapped. Other than that, I don't see anything else. I'm not denying that he is. I'm just not seeing anything that's very, you know,
Yeah, that's it. He was posting for maybe he deleted some of them.
who knows. Who knows? Yeah, I found that hilarious and
Whoever
Bardo.
I have inside information, he Sacha Baron Cohen is very pro-Israel, and he's probably gonna get involved into something.
Who knows? I fucking hope so. By the way, they're gonna make a movie on this whole thing eventually. There's gonna be a movie on October 7th showing like Hamas infiltrate. It's gonna probably be a wild movie. Interesting stuff. Yeah, man. So what are some other future plans? Like obviously we can't talk too much about the Palestinian. Well, we can talk a lot about it in your take, but yeah, that's actually a good rabbit hole to go down. What's your take on why we're losing? And I don't, you know what though, I as much as I feel like we're losing it, I think we do a pretty good job though. Uh,
On
We're
what?
just a
On
lot.
what? On what front? Are we
Well, not on the military front, but I'm saying on the
propaganda?
media front. Yeah, on the media front, good people, everyone's kind of saying we're losing it. I think I would say we're losing it because we're just so small in number.
No,
And
we definitely are losing. We're definitely losing. At the moment, it doesn't mean it's lost. Palestine being pro-Palestine is what's cool right now,
right.
and they have way more English speakers than us. They're way more numbers. There's 2 billion Muslims in the world. There's so many Muslims who came as refugees in the past years. to Western countries, to America, to the Europe, to all over. Um, they have a ton of money coming at them, and yeah, they're basically right. And also, they've convinced the population that we killed 30,000 civilians.
Yeah, not taking into account any Hamas members, right?
Not taking account any Hamas members, not taking into account how I was looking at the charts last night. I even did a video about this. How it's like it can't be that every day 200 to 300 people are dying. War doesn't work like that. Like war is like one day it could be 7, 8, 900 people, 1,000. The next day zero because
Mhm.
you know
Well, yeah, I mean, they're just using a law of averages. Like if it was in a daily basis in the last couple of months, 6 months, this is how many are dying on a daily basis. I think that's what they mean. I don't know.
no. If you
People are.
look at like the reports, you'll
Mhm.
see that their daily reports is 200, 300, 200, 300, 200, something like that.
But also, dude, I don't think we're ever gonna win this because the truth is, bro, most of the world, being that there is so many Muslims or pro-Palestinian supporters, I don't think we should focus on winning it. I think our focus should be simply on making sure that our country is safe and that the Jews are safe.
No, you have to. It's I've someone actually just explained this recently why it's so important that because let's say 70% of the world is anti-Semitic.
Mhm.
They already hate us from the get-go.
Okay.
Okay. If we don't keep, um, pro-Israel sentiment in a lot of the developed worlds, why, like, a bunch of countries that hate us could just attack us at once and there's nothing we could do about it.
Right.
We have to have allies. I don't know if Israel could exist without allies.
Yeah, it's a wild
Or makes
statement.
it much easier. Like let's say like throughout history, like yeah, the United States has been a great help and a great friend to Israel. Even though it feels like they're abandoning us right now, but in general, like why I think one of the reasons Iran is so afraid to attack is because what if the United States jumps in?
Right. That's the crazy part. So, like, I guess just asking you bluntly, do you think that we could actually lose the country in military defeat at some point?
I
Because
mean, we
obviously,
have
religious Jews would believe like, oh no, God will never let that happen. But it's happened before.
it's happened before, and I think also like God wants us to be prepared and build the greatest military we can and build the alliances we need to build. Also like there's all kinds of prophecies of the days before Mashiach and stuff like that. Like I don't
Right, but
know.
according to that prophecy, we're not supposed to lose it again, are we? Like, I'm pretty sure that's
I think a lot of us. I think according to some, and I don't know. Everything with Judaism is there's different interpretations and stuff like that. But according to them, like yeah, we could fucking lose a nice number. Like we could lose a nice number. Um, Something's gonna happen inside Israel also. If it's not, I mean, the crazy thing is with this going on, I still feel like Israel's on the verge of civil war.
right. You think just politically with the right and the left?
Um, it looks like yeah, it looks pretty heated. It looks like, and then let's say it gets really bad and there's no United States and there's no, and what if like a bunch of Islamic, like let's say Iran attacks us and they already have Hezbollah, the Houthis, and whatever's left of Hamas. Let's say they get the Taliban to join. I don't
Hmm.
know. Let's say they get Pakistan to join. Let's say they get the Gulf countries probably won't. Like but you still have Oman, Kuwait.
Oh, dude, you got first of all, you got more names than you can count, right? Like Al Shabaab, Boko Haram, Al Qaeda, ISIS, this, that. If they all have a common enemy, then they can all just join up and be like, hey, we'll fight each other later. Let's kill the Jews first. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, crazy shit. I mean, but then I don't know. Just my spiritual brain says, even though maybe I'm delusional, it says we've been around for so long. I feel like we'll figure it out, right?
No, I'm very optimistic.
We have
I'm
space
talking like
lasers,
worst
dude.
case scenario.
Yoni, we have space lasers. They're supposedly being implemented. We'll just shoot space lasers at them. These are
It,
Jewish space lasers, dude.
Yo, we have to fucking use Jewish space lasers.
What I'm
You, s-
saying, dude. That's what I'm trying to
you
say,
say a
dude.
bracha and the fucking laser just comes right out.
Right? Wouldn't that be dope?
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
think
we
we're
just
gonna
got.
win. I think we're gonna come out okay. I think the truth is on our side, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I hope so. Listen, figure it out. Either way, I mean, what do we got realistically? Like you and I, 50, 60 years left,
Right?
statistically. So let's just like have fun with it, you know?
And you're selling real estate in the booming state of Florida. So I mean, what could happen, bro? What could go bad? What could go bad, really? Yo,
Okay, you're back. You're back.
okay, yeah,
I'm such a staunch supporter of Israel, but I also love I love how America, how awesome America is.
of course.
So like part of me goes, I want to live in Israel and blah blah blah. But then seeing you just how available things are and how much more opportunity you have here to make a living, and
Insane.
there also isn't the threat of being stabbed in the neck at the moment in Miami, at least.
Yeah, I
So
think Miami's a whole different situation. Like you guys don't go through what the mess of America is going through right now.
yeah, no, especially you're in New York, right?
Yeah, like honestly, fuck you guys.
Yeah, well, dude,
It's like always sunny. Fucking really, you got your houses, your economy's booming, businesses, everyone's moving there.
I just hope the right people move here, because if a bunch of the people in your city want to move here, it's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, they're gonna come, bro. They're gonna fucking come. They're gonna fuck your shit up.
Fuck you.
What-
No, do not say that. The right dude, right now it's great. You have a couple of protests. You'll have some of these, I don't know, like 20, 30 people show up outside a shul. There's like some incidents here and there, but it's nothing like you guys have. You guys have 1,000 people in Times Square, huge rallies. The Jewish neighborhoods, nothing really happens.
Nothing. But you guys, when do you guys have like the selling, the thing where you guys sell property in the West Bank, like in Judea and Samaria,
What
Yudav
do you mean?
Shavuot?
Selling property in Udon Shomro? What do you mean?
Okay, so there's a big thing that a lot of the protesters that came to the Jewish neighborhoods is because there's like a real estate event where realtors, you probably, I'm surprised you don't know about it from coming from the real estate guru himself. Um,
Mhm.
they do these real estate events in shuls where they're selling real estate in Yudav Shavuot.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
And then they turn up big for that. Like,
Well, yeah, because listen, at the end of the day, if we're calling a spade, we're like, hey, the more we grow the settlements, the harder it's going to be for the American government to say, oh, you have to dismantle it. If we have 2 million Israelis in the West Bank, you're not kicking out 2 million people. And
of course not.
we're already at a number that you really can't kick out, especially because the most hardline Israelis are all there. So seeing that Gush Katif was a disaster, I mean, it's mind blowing that any soldiers would participate in that altogether at this point. You have some that do, which I don't understand, but I know for sure my
At
unit
this
I
point,
was.
you guys are not, no, there are no evictions of Yeshuvim at this point, are there?
No, no, there aren't. I'm just speaking in theoretics. I mean, not to put anyone on blast here, but other than maybe I don't even think Tanchanim would do it, but maybe Nahal. I'm sorry to throw shade at units because I have massive support for all the units, but I know Golani wouldn't do it. Kfir wouldn't do it. But then again, who knows? Who the hell knows?
Where
Uh,
did you serve?
Kfir.
Like fair?
Hmm.
You did the Netzach Yehuda or regular Kfir?
Yeah, yeah, that's where I was. Yeah.
You're a Netzach boy?
Yep.
Oh, for sure. You got fucking Netzach guys are the most radical, no? You guys are you guys are fucking wild.
So yeah, you said you grew up in Israel, so you know.
Yeah, I know. Bro, I was in Shirion for one day.
Oh, what happened? You just didn't want to deal with the authority?
No, I got arrested a few months before. I got arrested for selling weed to a 17-year-old. It's called Sachar L'Ktinim, so it's like dealing to minors.
Yeah.
And and the shofet sent the letter to the Bet HaMishpat. The judge sent the letter to the courthouse, um, like the same day I drafted. So they sent me right home. I got
Shit.
up
So that
12.
was it. You were out. Did you go to job or you just didn't weren't in the
No,
market at all?
I got up 12, and then after like 9, 10 months, I was able to draft. But I was already like, fucked up. I was like, yo, I'm gonna smoke weed and become a capitalist in America. And I was like, I'm out. But
Wow.
even and then I sold, but I did do a service though.
Okay.
I worked in Agalot, like selling Dead Sea
Sure,
products
sure, sure, of
for
course.
two
Okay.
years. So I was really on the front lines over there.
Hey, you're helping the economy, somehow.
Not really. You're probably actually it's probably the one of the worst things for like Israel's
Is
public relations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just how, yeah, yeah. I was totally making a joke. It only puts money in your pocket. It doesn't help. I mean, if you're selling, yeah, because you're selling stuff in America, you're selling your own products in America. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is what it is. It's a weird product because it's just, yeah, people spend enormous amounts of money. Israelis are such good salesmen. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay,
Damn.
so
So
go on.
tell me more about your time in Netzach Yehuda.
Uh, I mean, I'm on a podcast that's going to be out, so I'll talk about it. But we did arrests. There was riot control, patrols, checkpoints, all that fun stuff. But just because I don't want to put the unit on blast necessarily, but everyone knows, even the Arabs in the West Bank know our unit.
Yeah.
So honestly, man, just because it's a Middle Eastern thing, the Arabs knew that our unit, especially Kfir in general, but especially our unit, they just knew who we were. And listen, it's not Matkal, it's a regular infantry unit, but they
They deal
they
with
make
you guys more on the day to day, they know your names
they,
and shit.
right, they make sure that the neighborhood's safe, man. The truth is they're not, they're mostly Israeli. A lot of Israel, they're from a lot of either religious families, and they went off. They broke away from the family, or they had a troubled childhood. They were, getting into trouble, and so going to the army for them straightened a lot of them out. So you have a lot of like Alsim, a lot of, for people who don't know what that is, just a lot of like, you know, kids from troubled childhoods, and then they you give them guns, and pretty much. So
Yeah.
good group of guys, but yeah,
What do you think
pretty.
it is that in the Israeli army that like people go to the army and it straightens them out, like for say, and then like in the American army, I feel like there's like this like culture of like people come back like fucked up.
Mm, I don't know because I think most American soldiers don't really see any kind of combat in any way, whether it's war or anything. Um, most of them don't get deployed. So I think a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. But I think it also depends on the person.
Why they
I
had
think,
like Americans in Iraq, Afghanistan for
of
years
course,
now.
yeah, of course. Also, I think that the American cause, for example, fighting the Taliban for all these years was a total waste of time. I think when you're a Jew and you fight in for Israel, you feel like you're protecting your own country versus going to Afghanistan. If I went to Afghanistan and I killed some Taliban members, I wouldn't feel good about it. Meaning, let
But
me be
why?
clear
If
about that.
you it could
I wouldn't feel
honestly
bad.
to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
like if you're fighting the Taliban and it's after 9/11 and that's why you're in Afghanistan, you know what I mean? That's the same thing as almost the same thing as an Israeli soldier in
Yeah, I
Gaza
guess.
after October 7th. Like,
I think in the early stages, I think very soon after 9/11, I would have been very motivated to do it.
of course.
I think years and years later, seeing that well, we weren't really accomplishing the goal we set out to, I don't know if I would have wanted to do that. I don't know. I don't know if I would have wanted to do that, but I think right afterward, it definitely would have made sense, I guess.
Yeah, so but I guess that's the thing. That's the fuck. I know like BB and shit listen to your podcast. I'm gonna talk to them directly right now. Like that's why you have to go into Rafa now, bro. Like no one's gonna care soon.
BB, dude, I don't know how you knew BB.
Fucking like just go in.
Yeah, I'm so
It's
happy
right
you know that.
there.
I know,
It's
but
right
dude,
there. It's like literally right there, bro. Like
Dude,
just go in.
it's right. The gates are open, dude. It's right there.
Fucking A, dude. Like you
Seriously,
don't
yeah.
have to fly to Afghanistan. You're literally right there.
Right, dude. You gotta call him, bro. You have his number.
Because no, because that's what's happening is that October 7th is wearing off for people. It's where
I
it's
think the soldiers are still
the
perfectly
soldiers are
motivated.
still amped up like crazy, of course, and the soldiers will
Okay,
always
well,
be.
hold up. What's the story with all this? They're removing the army from the whole Gaza at this point. What is going on here?
What do you mean?
Well, they're saying that they're regrouping, but yeah, they took a bunch of soldiers out of parts of Gaza already. So what's going to happen is Hamas is going to just go back to those areas. If we pull most of our units out of a certain area, all those civilians, and look at my fingers, these civilians who are wearing jeans and t-shirts are going to just go there, which are a bunch of them are Hamas members. They're just going to quietly stroll back into those destroyed areas, at least just camp out there until they get enough international funding, build buildings again, even if they take another 10 years. That won't even take 10 years. They'll, if we completely pull out of Gaza in a couple of years, they'll have a bunch of structures put back up. And it'll just we'll be right back to the place we are. Yeah, if we don't end the war with our objective accomplished, all of this was a waste. All of it was a complete waste. We just did it. We went harder than we ever have in terms of the Gaza wars, and we hurt them badly. It might take them a while to regroup, but they will regroup. They're gonna regroup. If we don't accomplish the goal, then it was a waste of time.
I think you're right, but I don't know. I wouldn't be. I think that we do have superior air dominance. Um, we took a big hit the other week with the world's kitchen workers,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we lost public relations with the Emirates. Things got more strenuous. Even though I saw a picture this morning of one of the world's kitchen workers hanging out with Hamas members like a few days before on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. But I think we took a big hit, so I think we have to like, you know, chill out, for a minute. It's like we're like in timeout a little bit.
Shit's so crazy, bro. Jews, man. Like we're just. I'm trying to think of an analogy though. I guess you can say we're like that short kid that's really good at fighting, and we know we could probably beat a lot of the bullies that are trying to fight with us, but we're not confident enough that we can actually come out of it victorious. Like we're super confident, but we're really at odds here. So we're in a strange position.
I don't know. I think we have a plan to some extent. And we're not allowing, I don't think we're allowing humanitarian aid to go to all of Gaza. I'm not sure. Like I saw Turkey put a thing on us this morning, and I don't know if it's true because Erdogan's a fucking liar and shit. But he said that one of the reasons he stopped working with Israel is because we didn't let him airdrop food supplies into some location in Gaza. Even though like so many people have died from the airdropping of food, but
Well, it's because all he's airdropping is baklava. You can't sustain any. You can't sustain. You can't keep people alive on just baklava.
that's all there's airdropping.
I figured you would appreciate that Turkish joke. All they
I
eat. That's like all they eat. No, I I didn't know that honestly. I didn't know that. I mean, they're getting a. They're get. I don't know how much they're getting, but
Listen, listen, there are some good things. We fucking attacked Iran. They're scared to do anything in return. Like, I see like fucking like the like I see fucking Khomeini and shit like saying like telling people that they already attacked Israel, but they didn't.
mm-hmm.
You
Oh, he made
know,
that claim. He claimed that they did.
I think he did. But one thing's for sure, the Nasrallah, like fucking he lies to his people like crazy on like his Telegram groups. He's telling them like the Lebanese think that like Hezbollah's really, really fucking kicking our asses all over the place.
Right. Yeah, they really think that, huh?
They think they're killing hundreds of people every day.
Where do you see that?
I could send it to you. They have a Telegram channel where like updates and stuff.
And they say that? That's so crazy. But also that they're saying that about Gaza. They're saying that like thousands, like 10,000 Israeli soldiers died in Gaza.
Yeah.
they're saying, and people are believing it. I'm actually very surprised. I was telling this to Rabbi. You've heard of Rabbi Manis Friedman,
I think I've seen him. Yeah.
right? So it's coming out in a few weeks because I have
Hell yeah.
like two. It's gonna come out in 2 weeks. Um, I'm surprised by how few soldiers died. And again, that sounds terrible because it's a shame that any of them died. But I honestly thought it would be a few thousand by now. I
Really?
thought it would. Yeah, well, you're going into a
No.
super, bro. You're going into Gaza with all these tunnels at super close quarter. I just,
Yeah, but you've
it's only
complete
been a
air
few.
dominance.
Yeah, but it's only been a few hundred in 6 months. That's
I
pretty
don't know.
good.
I think that actually after the war, like one of the investigations is gonna be that how many soldiers died. Because also remember that a lot of the soldiers didn't die from Hamas. Like they died because they were like in a house that they put dynamite in, and then
Mhm.
Hamas shot one RPG, hit the house, everyone exploded. Like most of the deaths came from our own fuck ups, like in a way.
Most of them, you think most of them?
The day that 20 died in one day,
Yeah.
that was our fuck up. That's 20. There's another one that with the one where Idan Ahmedi got injured. That was also our own fuck up. Like 6 people died in that one. There was a lot of people who died from our own bullshit.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate reality of war, though, dude.
No, there's something wrong with the IDF. Like I'll be honest, bro. Like they've been talking about it like crazy on the Israeli news of how like just like probably served. You probably know like how disorganized it is. How
Well, quite frankly, Golani has a reputation for that, and I have massive respect for Golani and their soldiers because they're often going in first. In this war, I'm pretty sure you obviously you have artillery and tanks, but Golani oftentimes are on the front lines. So I have huge, 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 huge respect for Golani, but unfortunately, there's been throughout all the wars a lot of friendly fire.
yeah,
So
it's a problem. It's a real problem. Also, like the response time on October 7th, like I know you shouldn't talk about it while the war is still going on and everything, but massive issue.
I don't even I can't even it's made me so crazy to think about. I don't even want to do it because it's so retarded to me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think.
Like from what I understood is from the situation is that it was actually the police who held off Hamas fighters from getting into Beersheba. Like army, like you have way more like air helicopters, planes, vehicle, whatever. How was the police able to deploy themselves and have and build the big and build the big standoff?
So I don't know, man. I mean, this is obviously the conspiracy that the government let it happen.
I don't think the government let it happen. I think it's a series of fuck ups.
How do you? I just don't get how you could fuck that up so bad. Also, especially because you have all these tatspitaniot, and well, in English you have why people watching, right? You had a lot of female soldiers that are literally on guard, cameras watching what's going on the border. All these security cameras, all these security measures on the border. You have these powerful guns that could, you have Apache helicopters. They're coming from Gaza. There's time, right? It doesn't take a second to get over to get to the wall. It takes a little bit of time to get there. And how in the world? I don't know. Beats me, man. Beats
Yeah.
me because it takes one person. I mean, listen, they had things planned out, but
No, they had a
yeah.
Kane Hudson documentary that actually explains it really well, like of what they did, like how they took out, like they had like these drones to take out the cameras and this and that. Um, but
But
still, yeah.
even without the cameras, they did it in the morning. There was sunlight when they did it, didn't they? The sun was already up. So couldn't these soldiers just look out and see what's happening? Like that's what I didn't really get. Even if the cameras aren't there, you hear the trucks driving, you hear engines, you should be able to hear movement, see movement.
Like, how's it
It's
taking 7 hours? Also, like maybe it took 2 hours, 3 hours, you know?
I don't know, man. It's very strange. I don't know. Well, I mean, I would like to believe that Israel's gonna do things a little differently from now on.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
they'll build a 500-foot wall this time.
For sure. For
Yeah, now
sure.
we'll see what happens. It's
No,
wild.
hopefully, listen, hopefully I'm praying. Like, Israel's my home, it's our country, it's where we all belong at the end of the day, it's the future of the Jewish people. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, it's just sad.
It's weird. It's a weird thing, bro. Who knows? And then also, what do you think is going to be with the future of it? Because so I have a pretty dark reality. Like my belief is pretty dark, but I just think that's
What is it?
I think we're gonna have to either one side is gonna have to kill most of the other, or one side is gonna have to kick the other side out. And I'm like speaking in code right now, right? We're the stronger military, so it's not what I want to happen. It's just I don't see another alternative. Or we make Gaza the Palestinian state. Maybe Egypt gives a little more of gives a little bit of the Sinai Peninsula to them to just give them a little more space. They create a state, build it up, live there. If they are on good terms with us, they can come visit Jerusalem. They can get work permits to come work. And if they so I mean, if you look at it pragmatically, what other choice do we have? We can't create two states because neither side wants two states. It won't work. It won't work because the Rabbi Manis Friedman was explaining this very well. The Muslims believe that Yishmael was the rightful inheritor of the land of Israel, not Yitzchak. Yishmael was the one who actually was supposed to inherit it. According to us, Yitzchak was the rightful heir. So they believe ideologically and religiously that it's theirs. So for us to offer them half of the land, that's an insult to them. They're like, this is ours to begin with. What do you mean you're offering to share it with us? No. You're living on our land. So they're not willing to share with us. So they're not going to share with us. The one state solution, Rabbi Manas believes that if we kind of become more religious or we come more back to our religious roots, then we could actually be on very good terms with them if we're less merciful and we kind of just tell things like they are. This is our land. Jerusalem's our capital. If you want to live here, you do it on our terms. Then we could even be the minority in the country and they would respect us. I'm a little bit not sure if I buy that so much. I think it sounds great, but I don't really think that's realistic. And so I don't think a one state's going to work, and I don't think a two state's going to work. And I think that the fact of the matter is the thing that I'm suggesting. I don't want to suggest it. It obviously sounds like a terrible thing because I'm suggesting that we either remove them or we kill them. And so I'm on my pod. This is my podcast. Anyone listening to this is like, oh, you horrible, evil person. But it's like, if you have a better solution, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Even though saying the word solution sounds bad because it reminds me of, God forbid, of World War II. But it's just you think about all the movies you watch, all of these war movies, all of the history books you look through, in any empire, any kingdom, any war, uh, any war for land or for land because of religion, what did they have to do? You have two people fighting for a piece of land. What are you supposed to do? I don't know, man. And no one seems to have an answer. So I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. Um, it's interesting. I think first of all, I think that once we build the Beit HaMikdash,
Mm-hmm.
there'll be like nothing for them to fight over anymore. Because I think that's what we need to do. I think if we would have built the Beit HaMikdash after the 6 Day War, a lot of them would have left because what is like when Ismail Haniyeh wants to get people to commit terrorist attacks, what does he say? You have to fight for Al-Aqsa.
Alexa,
You
yeah, it's
know,
all about.
you
Yeah,
have to fucking martyr yourself for Al-Aqsa. The Jews are taking Al-Aqsa. Kill yourself. Grab a knife from your kitchen.
right.
Stab a kid at a crosswalk.
That's the final stand. That's the final. Yeah, it's all about that piece. It's all about that little piece in Jerusalem. It really is
Because that
when you break.
12-year-old is gonna kill Alexa. So I think first of all, we have to take what's ours. It's our temple. It's our thing. We have to build the Beit HaMikdash. And that's like the strength. And then a lot of people will leave because there's nothing to fight for. There's nothing to stay for. You might as well relocate. A lot of people who live in Jerusalem, the Palestinians and the Jews and the Arabs who live in Jerusalem, they see themselves as the protectors of Al-Aqsa. Even October, what's Hamas call October 7th?
Right, Alexa flood, yeah.
Al-Aqsa flood. So I think we have to build a Beit HaMikdash. I think
But do you
first
think?
that
Yeah, go
I,
ahead, go ahead.
I think you're right though. I think we're gonna take a part of Gaza. Maybe it's just North Gaza, maybe it's South Gaza. Um, I think we're gonna take a part of Gaza. In war, you lose land. That's how it always is. That's how it always
Mm-hmm.
works.
Mm-hmm.
You lost the land because we won the war, and we need to show that we won the war. A lot of people of Gaza will evacuate. It'll be refugeed. I think the only reason that there's not
Well,
more.
where though? Where? If Egypt doesn't open the border, where the hell are they going to go? Unless they'll leave from the sea, where the hell are they going to go?
I think at some point Israel's gonna help them migrate to other places. Maybe they'll let them cross through Israel. They'll let them
Hmm.
do different things. Maybe
I
they'll
mean,
drive them on a.
tons of them would have left if Egypt opened their border. If Egypt opened the border, they would have gotten the fuck out. They would have 100%.
I know. But I'm
Yeah.
saying at some point maybe Israel will sponsor a free bus ride from Gaza to Jordan. Who knows, man? Like it's what
Hmm.
2-3 hour drive.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I that's what I think we're gonna. A lot of them want to leave. A lot of them don't want to stay, and we're that's what we're gonna do. In the case of the West Bank, it's a little bit more complicated, but we do have a nice because we have a lot of settlements, and also the settlements. As you know yourself, is really just to get like a military base there.
Hmm.
Like you put up a settlement, then you can deploy some soldiers to guard them, and then you have a
100%.
deployment of soldiers all over the West Bank,
Yeah, it's a game of capture the flag, essentially, in a
basically.
way. Yeah, it's really all it is. Like, who can put up more posts?
Like a little
One,
kid comes with payas and he brings a bunch of sheep to the mountain, and then
right,
he
right.
claims the land.
It's so crazy, bro. But like, Israel and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict really just shows the true nature of humans. And in like Western states, because things are so cushy, we tend to forget that. We look at the Israeli, not we, because I see it for what it is, but other people who are very spoiled and live on their cell phones and see the world through their cell phone, they can't understand that all humans are like this at their core to some extent. And when you're in survival mode, you have to do what needs to be done. That's why, like in like a fucked up way, of course, it's horribly evil what Hamas did, but they were hoping that by doing that they would get the outcome they desired, you know?
Yeah.
And the craziest part is hopefully Israel won't be dumb enough to actually reward that, to actually say,
No, we won't. It's the one thing, it's the unilateral thing that they agree on right now in Israel. It was like 99 Knesset members voted against the state, a Palestinian state.
yeah, yeah, no, that's just not. Yeah, I mean, listen, if like I said, bro, if most of them are willing to go to Jordan, then we're good. Obviously, people listening to this are, oh, they should go to Jordan, but the Jews that come from Brooklyn should not. Sure, it's like no, but that's the funny thing,
Jordan, Lebanon.
what I'm trying to explain, and I've been trying to explain this to so many people, right? Like on my episodes, is that there's this notion, and thank God now this war is the first time I heard it being mentioned because all the prior wars, whenever there were there were Jewish activists doing Hasbara or whatever it was, they never countered this claim of the white colonialists, right? Because people have this notion, like at the rallies you go to when you do your reels,
Yeah.
a lot of these college students they think all Israelis are from New Jersey. That I think that's what they think, dude. I really think that's what they think. You know.
Yeah. Well,
So so
my parents are Israelis from New Jersey, low key.
yeah, but okay, listen, man. I'm from Brooklyn. I get it, but there's so many Israelis that look exactly well. They may have a different facial structure, but they have the same skin color. There's so many Palestinians that are very pale. So that's just a it's a pretty simple counter argument. And also, at the end of the day, how would that even work in practice? Like, okay, so only the brown looking Jews get to live there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then so what happens to like the redhead Palestinians or the white, blonde, blue-eyed Palestinians? Do they have to leave too? And then it's just basic, but then it also basically admits that you're not inclusive. Like Turkey, well, not even just Turkey, any Muslim country has a mixture of different ethnic groups. It's not like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Jordan, Morocco, Algeria. They don't only have one type of Algerian, one type of Moroccan. They have lighter.
No.
Every country at this point, through intermarriage, conversion, conquest, almost everyone's a mixture of something at this point.
Exactly.
So that the argument just doesn't really hold up. It's like, okay, so as a Jewish country, we only have one of them. We should only accept Jews that look like they come from the desert. Like it just doesn't in any logical argument, it makes zero sense.
No, of course, it's a fucking attempt to just like attach yourself to like woke thinking. Like,
Right.
no, it's always the bad white oppressor, and it's always the colored skin oppressed. And that's
Right.
the only fucking thing in the world. It's always like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
We have the
It's
white colonizers, then we have I
you
guess for
see
a
the
lot of world history, it was like that, low key. But you can't attach it to every story.
100%. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, dude. Yeah. So, dude, any finishing thoughts? Any final thoughts here?
I guess just because you're a real estate podcast, I just want to put out there that during the day I do SEO marketing on Google. So
Oh,
if
dope, dude.
anyone wants to get, leads, so you want to get your website higher in a certain location, you want to come up on certain Google keywords or certain Google searches, hit me up as well. I need to make some money too.
Nice. No, no, dude. Throw your stuff out there, man. Anyone who's listening,
It's
for sure.
my website's chauncey.agency.
I saw you. I saw it in your link in bio.
Yeah, we do a lot of really cool stuff. We've gotten some really good results. We have some very happy clients. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the internet. I might have just lost internet for a moment, and it just
Oh,
stopped.
okay.
All right, we'll see what happens. It might either do a separate file. It automatically recorded when it went back on. So hopefully it just sticks to one episode. Otherwise, I guess it'll do one long one, and this will be a short little separate one, and we'll figure it
I
out.
got you. For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to keep plugging in your marketing company, feel free,
Oh
bro.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do marketing. I know in real estate, like a lot of people need good marketing, right? It's very important. I do really fire SEO advertising, help get your website higher on Google. I do Google My Businesses. I could open up Google My Businesses in different locations. And yeah, uh, I would love to work with any fucking Jewish, non-Jewish, black, white, whoever you are. Doesn't matter what you're selling. I'd love to work with you.
Awesome. Awesome sauce, guys. Check it out. Go follow his Instagram. And this has been another episode of the Soothing Semantics podcast. I'm your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, leave your comments. Let us know what you think about the episode. It has been a pleasure, Mr. Kletzel Pretzelman.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks.
you, dog.
Thanks for having me on, man. I had a really good time talking to you.
Me too, man. It was super natural. It was just super, super natural, super chill. It was like I these are the kind of conversations I love because you really don't feel like there's any recording going on.
Yeah,
So it's super
just two
chill, bro.
dudes, just two dudes hanging out,
It is, man. Yeah,
talking about how we're destroying Hamas.
I knew it was gonna be like that, dude. I knew it was gonna be like that. I honestly knew that. I knew it was gonna be like super laid back and natural. So awesome, bro. I will talk to you. Be in touch. We're buddies now, so be in touch. The episode will hopefully be out in about 3 weeks because I got a few that I'm putting out prior
Okay.
before that. And that is that. Thank you guys for watching.